Hey quilting friends, it's Carolina Moore, your favorite sewing and quilting YouTuber here, and I've got another ruler of the month. Today we're doing the 60-degree diamond mini ruler. This is designed by Krista Moser and it's made by Creative Grids, and it is another fun ruler. Like all Creative Grids rulers, it has that grippy on the back, which is going to help it go into place. This is the mini version, so this makes up to 4.5-inch units. And I say units because while it is diamond shaped, it'll actually make other shapes as well, which is super cool. So I went ahead and pre-cut a couple 3.5-inch strips here to play with, to show you the different shapes that this ruler can make. With all Ruler of the Month patterns, I have a free pattern, but it's only free for now. As in, it's free for now until the next pattern comes out, and then this pattern goes into the shop. So I have a free pattern that actually uses a diamond, and they are 4.5-inch strips that you then cut like a diamond. I'm gonna go ahead and do, let's see, with this one, we're gonna be cutting the 3.5-inch, so it's a little bit smaller. And the first thing I wanna do is I just wanna cut off my end at the angle. Now I'm gonna line up with this bottom and then line up with my edge, and when I'm lining up with a line, I always want my, that's right, my spot on dot to help me see that line better and make sure that I'm lined up well, and I am. Gonna use my rotary cutter and just trim off that edge. So now I have my edge, and I keep wanting to say square, but it's not actually square, it's diamond shaped. So now I have my 3.5-inch edge that I want to make, and I'm going to line up my 3.5-inch edges. I can use my spot on dot there again to see both that top and that bottom, or I can use my spot on dot here and the smaller one up here to be able to see both lines. Now I've got this all lined up, and I can cut this flush as well. Now, something I didn't show you when I cut that first bit is I can trim off this tip right here. And that's important, and I want to go ahead and do that on the other side as well. And the reason that that's important is because it's going to help with our seam allowances. As we're lining up our pieces to make our quilt, this will mark those seam allowances for us so that you know that you're going to start sewing right here to sew all the way across. And when you line things up, you'll be able to line them up along this edge. Makes it so much easier when working with angled shapes rather than squares or rectangles. When you have these dog ears already trimmed for you, it's not just the trimming of the dog ears, it actually creates marking lines for you. So that's how easy it is to create a diamond. Now let's go ahead and try another shape, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and cut some triangles with this 60-degree diamond mini because, as I mentioned, it cuts different units, not just diamonds. So I'm going to line this up. I can line up this edge that I've already cut and my flat top there, use my spot on dot to see my line. And I'm going to go ahead and cut, I didn't cut that edge very well. There we go. Now I've cut a triangle that I can use for making either putting together for diamonds, putting together for different shapes, put 6 together to make a hexagon. There's all kinds of things you can do with a diamond shape like this. And this one is cut with the 3.5-inch. Now you can also go through and line up your, oh, let me actually line up that 3.5-inch edge. You can line up that 3.5-inch edge here. And go ahead and trim off the dog ears off of all of your corners. And that'll just make that easier when lining everything up. Okay, so we have our diamond, we have our triangle. What other shapes can we make with the 60-degree diamond mini? Because again, it cuts units, not just diamonds. How about a hexagon? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my contrasting fabric here, and yes, I'm gonna go ahead and cut from this same 3.5-inch size strip a hexagon. So what I'll do is, using my spot on dot, I've got these white lines here for my hexagon. And I'm going to put my spot on dot here, my other spot on dot down here. two sides. Now I'm going to line up this corner right here, and I'll cut the other two sides. And just like that, I've cut myself a 3.5 inch hexagon. So okay, we have our hexagon, we have our triangles, we have our diamonds. Here you go. Is there another shape that we can cut? Well, absolutely there is. Now for this half hexagon shape, I've gone ahead and trimmed down my strip to 2 inches, and I'm going to line up my lines between this dotted 1.5 inch line up here and the 3.5 inch line down here. And cut one side, and I'm going to very carefully cut a little bit towards myself on the other side to be able to cut this half hexagon shape. If I flip my strip over, or well, I don't want to cut into myself, so how about I leave my strip where it is and I spin my ruler around. There we go. And I can keep spinning my ruler around to create more half hexagon shapes out of this 2 inch strip. Now there's still one more shape that you can make with your 60-degree diamond ruler, and that is that we can take this here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my blunt end there and line it up. Line up that edge. I can use my spot on dot right on that dotted line right there. And I've cut this great trapezoid shape, and I want to go ahead and trim off my corner to help me with piecing. So we have our trapezoid, we have our half hexagon, we have our hexagon, our diamond, and our triangle that can all be made with this 60-degree diamond mini ruler. So many shapes out of such a tiny, fun little ruler. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below, and make sure that you've subscribed to this channel. I have so much more crafting and sewing goodness coming your way, and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. So hit subscribe and then that bell, and you'll be notified every time I have a new video right here. So I'll see you right here real soon. Bye, friends.